shit.
But could you go get me a flathead screwdriver?
From the office.
If John's in there, he can maybe help. Because I think that is adjustable. We will see. It is on now.
Oh,
We have
okay.
been.
Alright,
We're going.
well, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Okay, yeah. Well, right on. We were talking about Tubi and how they done came up, so people should check it out. You should go on Tubi.
Oh yeah, Tubi.
Snap.
They're making
It's
money.
Jeff. Jeff's bombing us.
Jeff's making a cameo. Check him out. There he goes.
What up, Jeff?
He's going somewhere.
He's no trap, I'll tell you that.
He's got some trash in mind. He's eyeing down some trash.
Homie's on a mission, as always.
Man, I'm a little bit tired.
Yeah, brother. We're all a little bit tired. That's what happens here when you have, like, children and a job.
I really tried to go to sleep early last night. Thank you.
Thank you, miss. Yeah, man.
And
well, it don't work out sometimes. Especially when you're used to working late night hours, People don't get that. They say if you work shift work, like that means if you were awake between 10 and 8 p.m. and 4 a.m., like you age faster than regular people.
what?
Yeah, because you're not supposed to be awake at that time of day. Like most people aren't supposed to be up and at 'em and having action past 10 p.m. Like it literally messes with your whole setup.
Dang, man.
Yeah, that's why drinking and sleeping not a good idea either, because your body's processing the drinking, so like it'll put you to sleep, but like while you're sleeping you're sobering up, and then your body's coming back to life, and you're like, oh man, so then you don't get good sleep there either.
I wonder what the chemicals inside my body are doing whenever I sleep, like, because I'm vaping right up until I pass out, dude.
Yeah.
And that's probably not a good idea.
I'll fall asleep with Zen pouches in.
Oh,
Like I'll fall asleep. Hell yeah, yes. I'll wake up like and peel it out of there. Come on.
And the vaping makes my mouth so dry that I just drink water all the way. So I'm vaping, drinking water, drinking water. Then I go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and wake up to piss every 2 hours.
Gonna have to start zenning. It's gonna happen.
Does it make your mouth dry?
No. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's like the most perfect delivery system for nicotine. They're just like, and they make it sound like it's not bad for you. That's the best part about it. They're like, no, it's fine, totally fine.
I know. I don't get any vibes like.
No, like you don't even know somebody's doing it half the time.
The PR on fucking Zen is amazing, dude. Right?
I'm waiting for them to put the label on there that says this causes cancer. I'll be like, I kind of knew that already. Like, I feel like anything that's giving me some type of feeling is where there's an up, there's a down.
Yep.
Everybody knows that. So like, yeah, man, Zen pouches. But whatever.
Something has to change because I can't go around with dry mouth all the fucking time. Like, it's better. Cigarettes didn't do that. Cigarette companies had that shit figured out. I mean, I did always have a drink whenever I was smoking, but like right now, my mouth is so fucking dry from vaping.
Well, the vape people ain't figured it out yet, apparently. Like the Siggy people, they had it, like the paper was perfect, everything's good. They're spraying stuff on there. They're like, this is gonna make it burn smooth.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the vape people. Also, the thing with the vape we were talking about the other day. There's no end. There's no beginning, and you just kind of do it like a fiend. I don't like it, dude. I have to.
There's no end or beginning.
There's no end or beginning.
Because it's not like you're lighting it.
And I'm putting it out.
Yeah, smoking a ciggy's like a process.
I gotta change that. Maybe I'll try Zins, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it works. I don't know how much nicotine you're used to at a time, but like, and plus the delivery method is totally different. So like, when you're getting it in through your gums, it's hitting you different than taking it in through your lungs.
Sublingually.
Yeah, it's a different feel. So like, you're gonna have to get used to it because it ain't gonna be as fast as like you're used to. Because hitting it in through your lungs, it's instant. You put the Zen pouch in, like it takes a few seconds, but when you get it, it's like whoa.
See, I got the oral fixation too.
Well, that's all part of it. You got to break the habit and everything that goes with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the hard part, especially since they make those things taste good, too, I'm sure.
I need to figure out... Okay, so not only the fucking cotton constant cotton mouth from vaping, but if the nicotine's working in my body while I'm sleeping and it's fucking with my sleep, my goal right now is to figure out how to sleep through the night again. At one part of my life, I was able to pretty consistently for years. Now, bro, maybe for the last 10 years of my life, first of all, I'm fucking 47,
Yeah.
prostate issues, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not living right. I mean, better than I have been in the past by leaps and bounds.
Absolutely.
But there's still definitely some things I could do. But, okay, I had one night this week. Like, I tried to track my sleep and all that shit. But I had one night this week where I fell asleep. And then I didn't wake up till the morning. And it feels like a miracle happened on those days. That's maybe once every few months that happens. And I try to, like, figure out what I did during the day and replicate it. Like, last night I figured I would sleep. I had the podcast in the morning. I played soccer with Abram for like an hour. Then we took a late night bike ride. So I was like pretty wore down.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No.
Well, it's just because your brain keeps running. Like, I have the same problem. So, like, I'll be like, I'm going to bed at 10:30. And then I just lay there watching Franco for 2.5 hours, try to save JFK.
Yeah, when I texted you, I was like, well, I'm kind of fucking tired. I should just go to sleep. Then the phone, that's another thing, dude. The phone, one night this week, I left my phone at work. And I'll tell you what, it was weird, but it was fucking good. And it's been making me think about that night a lot.
Like, maybe we should detach, at least, like, for a little bit sometimes. And it's bizarre watching my kid with the phone. And, like, all our kids got phones, you know, or, like, some version of a tablet, something, you know, and like that's their world that they've been born into. Like, we at least get the reprieve, you know what I mean, where we're like, I remember when you used to have it on the wall and there was no caller ID too. It was just whoever called. You didn't know. People could prank call you all the time and it'd be awesome.
Yeah, that was like the first half of my life was home phones.
Yeah, people would play games on them, leave ridiculous things on answering machines like, it's us, it's cold outside, so we're slipping and sliding, can't get to your phone call. You know, like, what the fuck?
Dude, there's a warmth about landline that I mean, I guess it's the difference between CDs and records. Like, I almost bought a landline the other day and hooked the shit up just so Abram could experience that shit. And it's not like we're making hella phone calls, but
Yeah, right.
I mean, I remember talking to my grandma on the phone, a lot of people on the phone, and it was definitely, that's how you kept in touch back in the day.
Yeah, it definitely felt different. Like, you hung up on somebody, you really hung up on them. You're like, bam! Like, if you're mad at them, you could slam the receiver, you know, or, you know, just sit there. People would just sit there and listen to each other. Like, people just text message now. They don't give a shit.
My grandparents had a party line whenever I was much, much younger.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and you could pick up, and I got in trouble for picking up and listening to the neighbors talk, but it was interesting.
If you could listen to people in your own house talking. If you had one upstairs and one downstairs.
Yeah, definitely. That's weird, man, that this would have been 1983, maybe, and Greencastle. So, just 40 years ago in Greencastle, shit was so different that
I'm sure that was the end of the party line.
Right, that was the end days of it, but 3 or 4 families were sharing the same phone line. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because they were poor, it was because it was rural.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I mean,
weird.
well, yes. Okay. So technically, I guess we were poor. Okay, if you would say in that
Yeah,
scenario, because
they-
like if you were rich, then you could just have them run your own line to your house.
True.
But if you're out in the middle of the country, like my grandma had one, but that was before I was born. You know, obviously, and they'd listen to the old lady down the street talking about like days of our lives with their friends on the phone.
My rich friends, some of my friends had 2 phone lines, which that's fucking money, dude. If you had
Yeah, it is.
2 phone lines, especially whenever dial-up internet came around, because if you only had one phone line for dial-up internet, then you couldn't make a phone call and use the internet at the same time. So you would get a separate phone line just for the modem.
Yep. That's Richie stuff.
Yeah, my parents never.
Yeah, no. 0%
Fucking crazy.
chance.
Yeah, because it was nerdy shit, dude. In
Yeah,
1996 and 1997.
It's not what it is today. Yes.
Yeah,
It's
but it's
wild.
still run by nerds. And
100% ran by nerds. Has to be.
did you hear Bill Burr talking about nerds?
But no.
I was like, man, that's my fucking bro. He's saying about it's just a bunch of fucking nerds controlling all this shit, and yeah, basically what I say all the time about
Yeah, pretty much.
about fucking.
Well, it is. They're taking power. Like, they got the power now because they can use technology. Like, they don't have to beat you up to bully you. They could send you attack emails and tell you're going to tell their family stuff, you know? Like, you cheated or some, you know, random shit.
Yeah, fuck them. I'm not scared of
Or
them.
they could plant kitty porn on your computer and be like, hey, look at this guy.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, that's terrifying. That's what I'm saying. Like somebody could just plant something on your computer. Like, there's 500 files of this stuff. What are you doing, sir? And you're like, what the fuck? Okay, well, don't piss off the nerds.
Yep, Revenge of the Nerds,
Not
man.
anymore. Although, you think that's what they said when they invented the handgun? Like, don't piss off the nerds now. Like, Equalizer, boy. You
Yeah,
don't have to be
dude.
a big guy to shoot somebody.
Nerds invented the handgun. It's weird to think about nerds in the 1800s, bro. Right? But they were.
It was like, I'll show you. I'll make a cannon I can bring with me.
Yeah, man. All inventions were made by nerds.
Yeah, even if they were cool nerds like Elon Musk.
Or Da Vinci. Right. Even if they were fucking seemed cool.
Yeah, they were still a nerd. At the end of the day, you're like,
Fucking
what are you doing with
nerd.
cogs and wheels? Reading them books.
What are you reading them books
Uh-huh.
for,
What
boy?
you got there? What you manufacturing, engineering over here.
Man, what's the best invention?
Of all time? Like the wheel?
No, because look, if you were trapped in the woods,
Yeah.
no, for what's the best invention for any scenario? Like
Like a knife?
probably, I would say.
Like, it has to be something sharp so you can, that does a lot of things. You can kill with it.
A wheel only does one thing. It had definitely changed the world, but if you need to start a fire, wheel ain't gonna help. If you need to pour some water from one large container into a smaller container, a wheel won't help, but a funnel would.
Yes.
That's a good invention, but that's also an invention that's for a very specific need.
Yeah, just one thing. Okay, so what does a lot of things? That's the question. Good, but okay, every up's got it down, right? We know that. So, like, if you invent a knife, then we invent a murder or something. Like we could kill each other with it.
Man,
Same thing, technology-wise. What if somebody wanted to launch a technological, attack, and they went to the water company's website or whatever and hacked in there and added a whole bunch of chemicals to the water and just killed a bunch of people, You get in the shower and it's burning your skin off.
I read this Alfred Hitchcock story whenever I was younger about this dude who got a job at the post office, or maybe it was at the fucking place that made stamps, and he put weed in the glue and the adhesive. I just imagine it in this big vat, and he fucking dumped weed in it, so people would be licking stamps and I guess getting high of licking a stamp.
Reefer madness.
It's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, but you know how much weed you'd have to put in there to get someone
I have to be
stoned
so concentrate off of licking.
for licking one lick of a stamp. You're like, now if you put acid on those stamps,
But then that's a whole different story, dude.
like you put LSD on the stamps, people lick them. Yeah, somebody's gonna come back and eat a lot more stamps.
That's dangerous though. Because putting LSD in the wrong hands, whoop.
Dude, imagine if you just dosed a population of people that had no idea it was coming. You'd have chaos in the streets. Like, people would be running around naked. There would be
Yeah,
traffic.
man.
You'd just hear sirens and honking, the whole shit.
Yeah, there would be maniacs roaming.
100% cannot give unsuspecting people LSD. Okay,
No,
period.
no, set off some fucking latent schizophrenia, some dormant schizophrenia.
Well, that's what happened when they with the MK Ultra dude and the Frank Olson guy. They gave it to him in Deep Creek Lake, right, not far from here. That's like a 2-hour drive or 4-hour drive or whatever it is. It's
Dang,
not
they were
far.
doing that shit at Deep Creek?
Deep Creek, yeah, man. They had a cabin up there, and they put these scientists from Fort Detrick in there, and they dosed them with LSD, man, like just in their drinks. And dude was like, "I'm not down for that," so they threw him out of a window. They said he jumped out the window. So for like 20, 30 years, they were like, that's the official story. And then I forget what president it was. I think it was
Clinton?
Bill Clinton that did the apology and paid
Yes,
him
dude.
$750,000.
I remember that. That's fucking from when I was alive,
Yeah.
like in high school. Holy shit, I remember my dad talking about that crazy shit.
Yeah, man. So they had to pay the family. Like they admitted, they had like they never admitted guilt or whatever, but like they settled with them. The government did.
Bro, everything ain't for everybody, and especially LSD. There was one time, a point in my life where I thought that everybody should have that experience because it opened my mind. It made me think about things differently. But as I've gotten older, no.
No.
Like,
No.
yeah, just like alcohol ain't for everybody or weed ain't for everybody.
Yeah, well, you got to be looking for LSD because, like, that's an experience that, like, you're going someplace. That's why they call it a trip. 'Cause
Well, you're
going
searching.
away.
You're searching for something. I personally was searching
Yes,
for something.
that's why it works for those kind of people. If it doesn't work, like, you know what I mean? It's a spiritual thing. People trying to use it to party, like, I don't know. It's a weird deal.
It is a weird deal.
It's definitely not for everyone, for sure.
No, but I like it, and it's that time of year. It, who I am, it's who I've become has a lot to do with the fucking psychedelics I think I've taken. And it's that time of year, it's spring tour, and that's why I feel like, and I probably haven't taken LSD 2 years, 3 years. It's not something that, it ain't for the, I don't know. I just don't have the desire to do it like I once did. But whenever the Grateful Dead used to tour in the spring, town would get flooded. And yeah, so I get the itch in spring. So I probably
Well, it's
will.
Bicycle Day. Pretty sure, right?
What,
The day,
April?
that's April 19th.
Oh, that's coming up.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And 420 is April.
Yeah. So they're a day apart every year.
Well, I know where to get some.
Yeah, no. We're not. We just sat here and said we're not doing that.
I wanted to say, man, sometimes, like we were just talking about the phone and that era, sometimes I think, wouldn't it be cool if there was we kind of talked about this in a different way the other day, but like, what if there was a town that just didn't get the memo and they're kind of like just stuck in the 80s? Like, they never passed home phones or tapes.
So they're watching
VHS.
VHSs and talking to each other on landline still. Yeah, that's wild to think about for sure. Like,
But that would be cool because you could go back. Like, I wish for my kids to experience certain things that I did for whatever weird reason that is. Like, it bums me out that they won't be able to experience these things, and these things might not ever come back.
they won't.
But if there was a weird town that we could visit,
So we should start a town.
but I think is that what the Amish did,
Yes. 100%. Yes, that's.
or they just never
Yeah, they're
changed?
1980s Amish.
But
What's going
you
on?
can get a taste of you could get a taste of what was happening back in the day if you go just to Lancaster and watch those dudes plow fields without
Yeah.
tractors.
Yes.
But
They figured it out. They're like, nah, we're done. No technology for us. We don't want a part of that.
you could go to a diner that like has a 50s theme, but that's really only giving you like what it would have been like to go out to a diner.
Yeah,
And
the
if
food is not even close to the same.
no. So I wish that was a thing, but it never will be.
No. Well, it's like going to like Frontier Town.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be like, well, this is a cool setup, but like I know those guys have cell phones in their pockets. You know, stuff like that. Like if you made a fake '80s town, 100% people, like even Amish people roll around with cell phones now. They're like on secret, like with cell phones and doing cocaine and stuff.
I
Amish
seen
people
a
are crazy.
I seen a horse and buggy with subwoofers.
I saw that short.
I was like, what's he listening to though?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, what's he bumping?
Right? Why didn't he fucking?
You can't do that.
No,
Like that, no, that's something wrong there. That's illegal. That's Amish illegal.
it is Amish illegal.
You can't do that. You can't put stuff up in your buggy. Like that's his race buggy for when he's out, like out in the town, out and about.
Dude,
Like, he
imagine that
parks
shit.
in town. He does not. His parents doesn't know he has that.
Imagine he had a switch in that shit and he could fucking.
Like make it go up and down. You got hydraulics on the buggy.
Dude,
Yeah, yes, I'll take it. Amish hydraulic buggy.
we could be fake Amish. Start doing shorts. Shit like that.
Just
Like,
show up and say we want to help them. Like,
no, just be like, be dressed up in black. And just be doing shit, crazy shit you would never, like not bad shit, but things you would never expect to see an Amish person do, right? That would be funny. I had this idea to put on dark sunglasses and not pretend that I was blind, but kind of like make people think I was blind and then play music. Because then my shitty skills would sound better because they would make it sound better because people would think I was blind. Yeah, like have someone help me out to the stage or something.
Did you know how awesome that is? Yo, he's
like-
blind, okay? Of course he can't play the chords.
Yeah, come on, give him a fucking break. He's fucking awesome.
Sounds halfway good. Like that, you should take that. Sounds great for a blind guy. Like, what the hell? Like blind people can't play music? Fucking Ray Charles, motherfucker. Like,
Jeff Healy, dude. Shout out Jeff Healy. That the blind guitarist from Roadhouse, the first Roadhouse. He played a guitar on his lap. I just seen a short about him too the other day for
okay, did not know he was blind.
Blind in Real Life.
Shout out to Roadhouse too. While
Yeah.
we're at it.
Shout out Patrick Swayze.
Hell yeah, Ghost.
Fucking A, dude.
Dude, I talk about Ghost all the time. Like how you can, there's no way you can do that now. Like him and Whoopi Goldberg, like whatever's going on there. She's like, better keep your ass out of me. You know, like don't you ever do that again. And she looks at Demi Moore like, my girl, you in trouble.
I forgot about that shit, dude. I forgot. I blocked it out.
And she's like telling her stuff that only he would know. And then they blast her, saying she's like got all these fake IDs and all this stuff.
Well,
So
wait.
she doesn't believe her.
Who died? Patrick Swayze?
Yeah, Patrick Swayze gets killed by that like Willie Lopez. His name is Willie Lopez.
El Rapo.
El Repo. That's terrible.
I know. So then he comes back. He gets in the Whoopi Goldberg, and Whoopi
Yeah,
Goldberg's
well,
friends.
he goes to her spot where she's doing psychic readings, which is complete bullshit. Like she can't see anything. He's the first ghost she sees. So when she starts hearing it, she's like, "Who's in here? Like, what's going on?" She runs into the closet and like hides in there. And then he follows her to her apartment and starts singing "Henry VIII I Am" over and
Oh,
over.
yeah, dude.
Remember?
Yes, I
And
do
he's just
remember
singing.
that
She's
part.
Like, fine, we'll go in the morning. And like they go and she has to convince Demi Moore that she's telling the truth, and she does. And then she goes to the cops. The cops discredit her and all this, so they have this battle to try to figure it out. Meanwhile, his homie is the one that had him killed because he knows he's onto the money laundering.
Oh yeah, dude. Man, okay. It's really cool that I have no recollection whenever it comes to movies, and it seems like you have like a very high percentage whenever it comes to movies of being able to recollect, which is very cool because it's just something I can't do. Ghost was a big movie in my house.
Dude, Ghost is one of those ones. It's like, I don't know, when you see the demons pulling down the guy that killed him and stuff, or like, I don't know, dude, it's just wild. With the guy on the train, there's a guy, he's like, "Get out! This is my train."
Dude, I'm now that you're like saying these scenes, they're kind of coming back to me.
Well, like stuff. Okay, if it's a good movie, that'll stick with me. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, whoa, like, this is because somebody's writing this. It's coming from somewhere. You know what I mean? I don't feel like people put enough on movies sometimes to pick out the good parts. You know what I mean? Like most people are consuming movies as a whole. I'm trying to figure out like the themes and like what he's really talking about in the middle of some sort of stuff like that.
Oh, dude.
Got a creeper over there.
I see her
What up?
creep lurking around. Yeah, man, it's art, but it's art that's it, made to be consumed by the masses. So you got a million idiots watching it, and it has to,
Has
like,
to appeal to them too. 100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
Should I say everything ain't for everybody all the time? Making something that is like liked by a lot of people, that's a
Big,
impressive thing, dude.
big ask.
And when you take art and you do it on that scale, then it doesn't cheapen it, but then yeah, I don't think people are analyzing it like you are. They're not looking at it as art. It's just something to be consumed.
Yeah, well, it's like a way to pass time. But like
Yeah.
I'm trying to picture what the writer was thinking at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm watching Stephen King, most of his
That's cool, dude.
stuff is an English teacher, an English high school teacher. What was
In
he?
Maine.
That's him. Yes. See, he's like writing about himself and stuff. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. That's interesting. You know what I mean? To be thinking
Yeah,
about,
it
like,
is very interesting.
what's this guy's process? You know what I mean? Like Tarantino's movies, stuff like that. Like that dude he's ripping them. You know what I mean? Like you got your finger on the pulse of something.
Bro, going to back to Tarantino. I've only seen Inglourious Basterds maybe once, and I don't think I finished it. And ever since you've been talking about it, I've been wanting to see it again. But I talked to you the other day about what was happening up at Fort Ritchie, which is a decommissioned military base right up on the mountain. And they were training Jews to be fake Nazis to infiltrate the fucking Reich. And that's what Inglourious Basterds is about?
Pretty much, they like send his rogue dudes. It's like they're just like the hardest commandos, and the leader of it is Brad Pitt, and he's not a Jew, I don't think, but like, I think the rest of them are. Like they have that one dude, Donnie Donowitz. He's the bear Jew in the movie, and he beats dudes to death with a baseball bat.
Damn. I wonder if they had that, whatever, I forget what it was called, Operation something. If it was just happening all over the country, like they were just training mad Jews to send them back.
I'm sure they were. You know,
Yeah.
'cause, like these people were, I'm sure, wanting to be like, fight, you know, they want to fight the cause. You know what I mean? Like clearly, war was different then. It's not like now. Like we're not really at war. Even if there's conflicts happening in the Middle East right now, we aren't at war. You know, back
war's
then,
so
the
different,
country
dude.
was at war. Like they converted all the car companies to make tanks and planes and all this kind of stuff. People had to ration their food and all this. Can you imagine if that happened today, where they're like, "Hey, we're going to war with Russia and China, or China. Let's say we go to war with China. Like they're gonna bomb us. Okay, could you imagine what would happen in California or some of these places where people they're just living a lovely sunny life every day, 70 degrees, nothing bad ever happens, no drones flying over. You know, and now they're like, we are at war officially. Because, like, I'm pretty sure some Japanese bombs made it to the West Coast. Like, they had, like, balloon bombs and stuff, you know, things like that. And they had the
Yeah, I
Western-
remember.
You know, that was a theater of war. Like, they had it set up ready for attack.
Man, Japan was trying to send some bombs over on balloons.
I think.
Yeah. They were. I remember. I've listened to stories about that shit, which is pretty crazy, dude. Like,
Well, it works.
man, what I was talking to Jim the other day about the Civil War,
Yeah.
and what he was saying was crazy about just being a boys' club and them, like, at the end of it shaking hands and walking away and just going back to their regular lives. There were no Nuremberg trials. There were no fucking trials for war crimes and all that shit. And war was fucking different. Like, and obviously that war happened on our soil. But you think if that shit like January 6th, you think if that shit started a civil war, like, those leaders, like,
Yes.
it wouldn't just be let go. Like, if shit started popping off and people started
Like
getting
they
killed.
put people on trials now. Well, okay, maybe back then they just killed people, you know? Like, you know, back then they like, well, we already killed all the guys that we could have put on trial. You know, so like, I think we're good now.
Yeah.
You know, like those dudes got killed by cannonballs or whatever. You know, they stabbed them.
Yeah, there's enough suffering already.
Yeah, like in the future we live in now, you can't just go killing people because it's on the news and it's everywhere. But back then, they're like,
No.
that guy died in battle. I don't know. I'm not sure how it happened.
Well, we're a civilized society now. It's crazy. Killing was a thing for thousands and thousands of years, dude. It's only recently that it's like a really, really bad thing.
Yes, like people used to frown on it. Like, depend on who you
Right.
killed. Like, who'd you kill? Like, was it just some dude? All right, you're
But
good.
you
We
couldn't
don't
say
worry
that
about him.
today.
You know, like, did you kill a knight or somebody who's a
Right,
you know,
somebody important.
somebody connected to the royal people? You know, was he in the court?
If I came into work and had blood all over me, and you asked me who I killed, I was just like, some homeless dude.
Yeah,
And you're like, you'll be good. Wash your hands.
yeah. Like, yeah, today that would not be acceptable. But if you were like the blacksmith's helper,
Sorry,
maybe.
buddy.
It's like, hey, I had to shoot someone with my bow and arrow on my way in here.
Dude, did you ever read Johnny Tremaine?
No.
See, for me, books and music, I analyze music. I was not movies, but like how you just described analyzing movies to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do with music. Maybe not so much books, but I like voraciously read. But anyways, Johnny Tremaine, read it in middle school, I think, and it was about a blacksmith apprentice in Boston during the Revolutionary War. And all I remember is he's like melting down some silver, and some gets poured on his hand, burns him really bad, and so he has to wrap this poultice around it, which is just like some fucking gauze with some herbs and shit. And then he leaves it on for too long, and his fucking hand fuses together like this. And so his dreams of being a blacksmith or silversmith, maybe whatever he was, dashed. But then he became a swimmer because he could still swim with his.
'Cause he's got a fin. He's got a fin now. Johnny Tremaine.
Yeah, man,
I've definitely heard of that book.
it's a good one.
Yeah, man.
Did you ever play Fallout 4?
Yes.
The Boston one, the East Coast one takes place in Boston.
Yeah, Fallout 4. Yeah, I played Fallout 3 also. That one's in D.C., which is pretty wild because they had like the Washington Monument all tore up and the Jefferson Monument's on there too. You got to go underneath it, do stuff. Which is
That's
pretty,
cool.
It's pretty wild.
If the game is immersive enough, like I feel like I've walked around Boston.
Yeah.
Same way with Assassin's Creed, the one that took place in Venice. Dude, I got so sucked in, and I feel like if I went there, things would look familiar.
Right.
Yeah, that's an art too, man.
100%.
Mad heads like working on one thing to make you believe. It's good.
Hell yeah.
It's magic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why a good game, you know what I mean? Like, that's part of what a good game is, the artwork.
This is what I like about. This is one good thing about being an adult. Finding out that magic does exist. You just have to know where to look for it, and yeah, you just have to know what it is. Like a good movie that fucking sucks you in, that's magic, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
A song that I hear and I'm like, what the fuck, how?
Yeah, that's a spell.
Yeah, dude, it is. It's
A
fucking.
song is a magic spell. They're just repeating the words over and over. For sure, it's
magic.
hooking you in.
I like it. I like magic.
Yeah, man. Well, it's deception to amuse or whatever. It's not like, you know, it's not like thievery or being a con man, but it kind of is, you know, because you're like, I'm going to do this, and then you're really doing that.
Brain trickery. I like trickery.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't do it in my real life. I used to. I used to like to trick people.
Trick people, what, just lie to them?
Hmm.
Be like, let me just tell you lies. I thought about that the other day. I was like, what if I just lied to everybody? It was like, yeah, I've been to places I've never been to, and I was in the war or something. You know what I mean? Like that's terrible. That's like stolen valor. You ever see those guys? You ever see those guys?
Oh god, dude! Last night I fucking Googled or YouTube stolen valor, and I was like, man, maybe that we could talk about that on the podcast tomorrow, dude. Stolen valor. Leave those dudes alone. Leave them fools alone.
Like they went and got a whole uniform and everything.
Let them get their 15% off.
Is that what's going on here? They just want the veterans discount, and they want you to sympathize with them when they're on the side of the road.
They want to walk in a parade and like, yeah, it's fucking weird. But here's the thing. If they're not hurting anyone, they're obviously thrown off. But I'm seeing dudes in Target being like, finding somebody in military fatigues, be like, take off my uniform.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but bro, if I've seen somebody walking around,
I don't get it. I don't know. I've never been in the military. So maybe you got this, like, brotherhood, you know, this feeling that you're having, and you're like, that motherfucker, he's a liar, you know? I guess that's the only thing I can figure. Cause, like,
I know that you got a
I'm afraid of
brotherhood.
reference.
The brotherhood is tight. I know, anyways, among Marines. Yeah, I guess it's a point of pride.
Yeah. You don't want somebody walking around pretending like they've really been to war when you've been to war.
Right, that's fucked.
Yeah. So I agree. You
But-
know, tell them.
The stolen valor dudes.
But some of them are funny. Yes, because like you got a sign that says "Help a Veteran" or whatever, and then he comes up and he asks you what platoon you were in or whatever, what company. Like I said, I don't even know, you know. And you just rambled some shit, and then he's like, "No, you weren't." You know, those dudes. Yeah, they got to be like schizophrenic or something.
Yeah,
you know?
some part of me
Clearly there's
feels bad.
something- Yeah, like there's something off in those people's brains. Like, you know, to be sitting there with a uniform on or.
But it's
medals.
wild.
Like,
You
where'd
can
get those medals from?
you can just tell from their face though, like that they weren't. Like the way that they look. You can tell a military dude. Sometimes I think that I come across some stolen valor in here. Like former military dudes, I'm sure they can let themselves go. But most of them that I've ever come into contact with, they're like it's still a part of who they are, and you can just tell. Yeah, I'm thinking of one dude in particular. He's decked out in like veteran hat and like a vest and
Steve Buscemi?
no, not him. Please come back.
Please come
Warvet.
back, Steve Buscemi.
Please come back,
Warvet.
Warvet Steve Buscemi. I didn't mean to run you away. I'll buy you a fucking
Say,
rum and
You
coke.
get to go.
It was a misunderstanding.
Listen,
War veteran Steve Buscemi.
yeah, that guy was, yeah, whatever. We can't say anything. Come in 5 minutes before we close, please. Come see us. We'd like you to come in at 10:55 whenever you can.
And then sit for 45 minutes.
Yes, because we don't want to go home.
Please do it.
You know I don't want to go home. Like,
Me
come on.
neither. Yeah. But War vet Steve Buscemi, that's a hard one, dude. Is he stealing someone's valor? I don't know. I don't think so. He looks like he was in Vietnam.
Dude, Nam's the craziest one because they put Agent Orange on him, and they were seeding the clouds to make it rain forever. So like dudes were getting trench foot and all this kind of crazy stuff from being in the water all day long. They're like, we'll just extend monsoon season forever. Like that was the plan, and they did that. And then they put the Agent Orange to take down all the bushes so we could see them. But they sprayed it on dudes.
Yeah, I don't think that we want to fight another jungle war.
No, we shouldn't want to fight any more wars. Period.
We need to fight a snow war.
Well, like Russia.
Yeah, because think of all the video games. It's always a level, dude.
It's
And I've never seen it in real life.
Yeah, I guess, well, okay. We'd have to be ridiculously dumb to fight the Russians. Okay, like, historically speaking, anybody who tried to fight the Russians always got starved out because, like, you can't grow anything wherever you occupy because it's all cold, you know what I mean? And, like, Yeah, it'll just freeze you out. Like, as soon as it hits wintertime, you're done. Like, no matter what you got. Those people are used to living there. Like, you send two dudes from the Midwest of here that are like, oh, it's wintertime. I know winter is. It's 30 below. Like, no. It's like 100 below there. Like, the cold that you think it's cold out here, it's 10 times colder there. And they know how to live there. We don't.
I'm scared of Russian people. Like, I don't know very many, but like the thought of them, I wouldn't say I'm scared, but little.
Dude, Russians are chilling. Like, it is my opinion that the Russian people are just chilling there. Like, that's why I said they put their walls up. They just chill in there. Like, Chinese are the ones you got that I would be
See,
worried about.
that's where I was going. I'm not scared of a Chinese person.
Okay.
Like as an individual,
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Russians are a little bit
They seem
intimidating.
Strong.
Yes,
They seem
strong. Maybe Rocky
they-
Four probably.
It's like being next to a wolf when you're a regular dog.
Yeah, right,
Like,
exactly.
They're just like it seems like they could like eat glass and like spit
Yeah,
nails and
and
stuff. I can't do that.
They seem indifferent. Like they don't. Right, exactly. They could survive a fucking harsh winter starving. I couldn't.
Yeah, I don't see Chinese man doing that. But what do I know?
No, and the Chinese that I've come in, no Chinese have I ever felt. It's gonna be controversial. Have I ever felt now Chinese people are gonna come at me? Want to challenge me? Yeah, man. No, never.
Yeah, it's not. It's like me. Like, you see me walking in, you're not gonna get intimidated by this guy. I'm just a normal ass white dude.
Dude.
But
But
if
there,
I was Russian and I had on a Adidas tracksuit,
yeah, man. I must break you,
you know what I'm saying? Like, shit.
Ivan Drago.
Yeah, dude. I can see. I see what you're saying. Like, that is scary. Whereas a Chinese dude does not seem like.
Not even one that knows kung fu.
Yeah, even Yakuzas or whatever they're triads, right? Yakuza's Japanese.
But the dude, whatever his name is, he seems like a scary dude. Also, the great leader.
Kim Jong Un.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's scary.
but he's scary in a way that because he's thrown off. I feel like.
Well, he has thousands of people working for him and like hit squads and death squads and stuff like that.
And everybody telling him-
if it was me
right.
and him in a room, I'd choke him out.
Yeah, dude.
Choke him out, probably.
Choke that fat baby out.
Just me and him. You know, maybe I'd be like, "What up?" Noogie him.
Is there an Asian race that you wouldn't fuck with? Mongols?
Yep, 100%.
Nope. I wouldn't. Maybe there's some like.
Well, there's definitely some hardcore Japanese and Chinese.
Yeah,
You know,
for
there's
sure.
Definitely hardcore dudes in every category for sure. But like you said, I feel like the Russians, like, I don't know, you just picture them like riding a grizzly bear. You know, you're like, these dudes just, you know, like Putin with no shirt on and riding a horse. You know.
Do you remember? This might have been before you were born. This foreign student was traveling in Singapore and wrote some graffiti, and then got whipped.
They caned him.
Caned him.
Yeah, dude, I remember that was all over the news, like early '90s, and it was a caning.
Yeah, bro. I'm scared of people from Singapore because of that.
Well, just don't go there and make graffiti or
Yeah,
have weed.
fuck that. These people who do that shit like
You Otto warm beer.
Auto,
Yeah,
That's
you,
a-
you shouldn't have took that poster, son.
they shouldn't have fucked you up like that
No,
either.
No.
But come on, dude.
you're in North Korea.
Come.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like, you're in a place that is beyond your comprehension. Like, we get a slap on the wrist here. Those people get killed. Like, you're lucky they didn't just take you out back and shoot you in the back of the head right there. Like, honestly.
Sorry, Otto's parents, but
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think we owe them anything. You know, I mean, we don't know you. We don't know these people.
No.
Okay? Like, I get it. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but
I know,
like,
I'm
I don't
just
know
being
you.
stupid.
Like, I don't know them. Otto's parents. It's like if I'm talking about Kim Jong Un, he's gonna get me. So like, you hear the podcast of two guys. Like, yeah, he might. They might.
well, you should have never been in fucking North Korea. Like, if you're like comparing, oh, if I was in the fucking United States and I stole a poster, like, if that's what your brain is thinking, please, like,
Yeah, what are you doing there?
this regime will starve out its own people.
Yes. Yes.
They do. Yeah, you're lucky. Yeah, whatever, dude.
Yeah, yeah. What were you doing there? That's a good point. Like, what exactly were you doing there? If you were going, okay, if I'm going to France, I'm going to study up on the laws and like what I can and cannot do, at least a little bit. You know,
Exactly,
like what's rude to a French person? You know what I mean? Because like you don't know what's rude to a North Korean. You might say something and you know what I mean. That dude's just like, haha, okay, and then he walks away, and 2 hours later, you're fucking.
Bro,
See you later, buddy.
my daughter's about to go to France. She won't act like a imbecile American. Hopefully, I watched this dude named Small Brained American. He's a travel vlogger, and I don't know, maybe it was an older video, but he was in Myanmar. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, that's a crazy place too.
It is a crazy place, and everybody seems genuinely kind and nice. Unfortunately, and maybe they are, but they can't be happy.
Well, that used to be Cambodia, right?
It used to be Burma.
Burma, that's it. Okay, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, man. Well, you got to figure like most normal people are just normal. They just want to get day to day. You know, that's what I've been trying to say. I think is like most people's like under the bell curve, if you will. Like the average person doesn't really have hate in their heart. You know what I mean? Like we're all just trying to make it day to day, you know, and get along, if you will.
Right.
It's pretty strange, especially in places where they have that much atrocity, like where you just have people that 60,000 people or whatever just get killed in a day or.
But what, you got time on your hands? Like, I don't get that.
What you mean?
Yeah, we're just trying to survive and live day to day. I don't got time for killings
No, we don't have time to kill people.
or anything else. Like when the Occupy Wall Street thing was happening, I was raising a baby. Like, these kids in college who can protest, that's great. But you have time to do that shit, and also your belief system is still intact, or you're like trying to believe in something.
Well, idealistic. Like you're more idealistic than, you know. Like we want to look at things at how they should be instead of how they are. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna fix this problem, and no, you aren't. You aren't gonna fix shit.
Yeah, and I don't like that. Yeah.
There's people in power here. There are wheels in motion that you have no idea of. Like that's the thing. Big, huge things are happening around you, and you see this one problem, and like it's an injustice. Like, do you have any injustices there are around the world? And we need them. Do you want to use your cell phone?
Right.
Like, do you want to have a cell phone? Okay.
We do need them.
Like somebody's gonna have to go down in that cobalt mine and get me my cobalt for my goddamn battery.
Bro. That's so profound. We do need those injustices. It's fucking... And that goes back to what we were just talking about off camera before all this shit. Yeah, for every up, there's a down.
Yeah. So, you know, you want to have cheap clothes, there's got to be sweatshops somewhere. You know, like shit.
You could choose to not participate, but... Yeah, you're in the wrong country, I think. Or you can go back to being Amish.
I mean, you could. But then, you know, there's sacrifices there too. You know, like, you want to have women just being told what to do? I mean, like, where's the line? You know, you're like, I want these nice things with no bad things attached. And, like, that's, you know, and it takes 40, 50 years to realize that. That's just the way it is.
It's fucked. Life is weird, dude.
Yeah, and you might not, well, that's like, okay, a regular person, I was thinking about this the other day, would take their whole entire life to become financially free. And the only people that would reap the benefits would be their children. You know, like, you'd have to go into, a person would have to, from nothing, would have to start with zero, unless they got lucky. You know, because there's people who get lucky, but, like, most people that have stuff, they started somewhere, they had some kind of help. You know what I mean? If you didn't have two good parents or somebody to keep you backed up while you're working on your computer programs or whatever it is, you're not going to hit the lottery and sell PayPal and make billions of dollars or whatever it is.
Right.
Okay? So if you have zero, you're starting there. By the time you hit 80, you might be well off enough but then you're going to be dead.
Yeah, man.
You know, like you're not going to, because by the time you figure out how to like use your finances and make good financial decisions, because as a human being, we'll be like, nah, I'll just spend this money on some nice shoes or some whatever I got, you know, until you figure out like, oh, hey, that's stupid. We need to save it and put it into money market accounts and all this stuff, because like most poor people don't get taught about how to invest in the stock market. We don't get told anything about that. We're like, better get a job. That's about all we get. Get a job.
Go to college, get a better job.
Yeah. But now we know college is a scam as it is anymore. Unless you're going for something super specific. Most of the time they're just trying to sell you a dream.
Yeah, go to trade school, kids.
Yeah.
Learn a trade.
Be a plumber, an electrician. Don't be a waiter.
Or a bartender.
All right, it's honest work though. Okay, so
It is honest work. It's honest work for honest day's pay.
Yeah, for sure.
And my stepmom told me whenever I first moved back from Arizona, because I did not want to come back into this work, dude. I lived out west for 10 years and did not do this work. And she said that there was integrity as long as I was doing and providing for my family. Yeah, there was integrity in whatever I was doing. So I got much. Yeah, I like this job.
Yeah.
It's aight.
Not too bad. It's like you say, honest work. I guess we better wrap it up, homie.
Yeah, man.
All right, brother.
All right.
All right.
I don't think I can do that any better. That's funny as shit.